And as you hear about this stuff, some people, if you talk to them about it, they think you're nuts. But I have a ton of questions that I would love to sit down with experts. Like building 7?
No reason to fall, no plane hit it.
And the way all 3 of these buildings fell straight down is how controlled detonations happen.
Yeah.
I mean, there are just so many questions that I have that I'm very skeptical about the story that we've been given.
Yeah, and I was just curious of that because I was wondering like what it's like to lead with those questions in your head and still going out and doing your job.
I think at the time though in Iraq, I didn't have those questions in my head. Those questions came afterwards because even when we went to Iraq, we were told that there were weapons of mass destruction over there. Okay, we're going over there to do what we need to do. But then over the course of time, and you hear and figure out who's in charge and who's making a lot of money off of the military industrial complex and what we're doing over there, you start to have questions, and then you start talking to people, you start reading stuff, you see stuff on social media, and then it's like, something's not right.
Yep. Well, I mean, it was a 20+ year war if you count Iraq, Afghanistan.
And just think of the money.
Yeah.
And for years, we were always told after every conflict, we're leaving the equipment there because it's too expensive to bring back. Bullshit.
No.
Bullshit. And Trump said it. Put a half a tank of gas in and put it on a boat and bring it back.
That's right. Well, then not only, anyone with half a brain goes, wait, how does that make sense? Because not only just the half a tank thing, it's if you see and how much does it cost to build a F-16? How much does it cost to build a tank? Like whatever it may be, like, the cost of these things are in the millions and millions of dollars.
And just think if we have to remake that, rebuild it, how much money is being made.
That's right. Well, even I got to do the boss flight with the Air National Guard because my former chief marketing officer is Air National Guard, and he got me on that. And then after we did the refueling flight, which was awesome, we got to go into the IED room, and I was messing around with the robot and just picking up a marker and putting it in the bucket and just simple stuff, but just to be exposed to that. And I go, hey, how much does that thing cost? And they're like, $250,000. Right. And the thing's like the size of maybe a ice maker, $250,000. That's the price of, a house. Right. So just that little thing, let alone an F-16 tank, Apache helicopter, or whatever that we're leaving behind. Yeah. Doesn't make any sense.
No. And when I got to Iraq, everything was going to hard stand, wooden buildings. I literally saw holes being dug and tents being pushed into these holes. In our motor pool alone, we had a Connex that was filled with physical fitness equipment. Hundreds of sets of physical fitness equipment. And you're thinking, why is that sitting here? Why isn't it being taken to somebody who needs the equipment? And the amount of boots we were given, the amount of uniforms we were given. Before 9/11, I was in Madison working for a major. I think I was a lieutenant at the time. And we got to September, the end of the fiscal year. And my boss told me we were working drug demand reduction. He said, we need to burn up this money. I was buying 30-minute VHS tapes for over $1,200. And this was early 90s. And it pissed me off because my wife was a teacher and she couldn't even afford weekly readers for the kids. But here I am buying VHS videos talking about drugs. They'd have some football player or some Hollywood star talking about, don't do drugs. And I was paying $1,200 per tape. And if you bought 3 tapes, you'd get a free VCR, literally. And I'm thinking, look at the money we are wasting.
So let me get this straight. One VHS tape.
$1,200.
That costs $10, $12.
$1,200. And this was early 90s.
Remember the report that used to come out? I don't remember. It was some presidential report, though. The toilet cost $30,000, and they actually used to do this government waste report, and then all of a sudden that went away.
Yeah.
I remember being in high school and seeing these numbers. It's like, what is this toilet seat made of freaking gold?
Yeah. What they do is, what I believe that happens is that these contractors know the breaking point that they can charge something before it would be investigated or looked into. And so, I'm going to charge $10,000 for this toilet seat or whatever. They knew the breaking point. Or, They just knew how to get around the system. When I worked at the Pentagon, right when I got there, they needed a study done. And I'm not going to mention the company that did it, but I went upstairs thinking it was going to cost $2 million for this 1-year study. And I went up to my boss's boss to ask for this $2 million. They didn't bat an eye. It was like giving you $5. They could have cared less. I could have asked for $20 million. They wouldn't have batted an eye.
Because it's not their money.
Right.
It's our money.
Right.
And that's what should piss everyone off.
Yeah.
And the fact that Elon was getting so much hate for actually looking into this stuff is absolutely crazy.
Yeah. And it's crazy, and I know we're getting off topic a little bit, but when you hear about the fraud with people that shouldn't be getting the benefits that we are paying taxes for, and people are still upset with the current administration because but they're being fed by the media.
Yeah.
Too. They're being fed by the media.
Well, absolutely. We're not off topic. We're right on topic.
This is